We can't do this anymore. You know it's way too expensive when we are at war. Lately I've been feeling so senseless. This line that we have to draw. Each time you went so defensive, and that's when we crashed through the wall.
Windy City, man, I look so clean. I got 2 shots down the road from the beach. She went 2 shifts and I swing up the street. I know she knows just where to go. She been acting foreign when I'm miles away, but in the city she gon' have an attitude change, yeah. Doesn't matter what the time is or place. She knows I know just where to go, yeah. She got options, I'm not up here often. I know it cost me nothing fun. Hit her up when I know she wanna dance. I got all night, Papa left her friends, they didn't pick a fight. Cause she know how to get it when she wanna. She know how to get it when she wanna. I'm in her place, she didn't think twice. Try to look I caught it from the side. She can say the word and I'm a gunner. Yeah, she know how to get it when she wanna. spot for the hangover day. Turning all quick call with the coffee to chase, yeah. Still drunk, but we're feeling the same. She knows I know just where this goes. She's too cute, never owes me, yeah. It's too soon. It's always something, conversation is not complicated. I see her light up every time I say you wanna dance. I got all night, up and left her friends.